In this video, I'm going to be covering how you can scale your AI agency from $0 to $30,000 per month and the entire roadmap you need to take in order to do that. This will help you whether you're brand new to the AI agency space or whether you're an existing AI agency owner. But here's the caveat, okay? This video might be a little different than some of the other AI agency trainings that you've watched on YouTube because this isn't going to be about all of the new AI tools that you need to be using in 2026. Because as someone who has closed 771 agency clients and scaled to over $2 million per year with my own agency, I know that the tools are not what you need to scale. What you need is a system to close clients. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact system that me and a bunch of my clients inside of agency clients have used to scale. So let's dive straight into my screen. The reason 90% of agency owners struggle to sign clients is not because of their outreach methods, whether cold calls, DMs, or emails. It's not because they need more AI tools. It's not because their outreach isn't personalized enough. And it's not just because they're bad at sales. While all of those things are important, and we'll cover them in this video, what's more important is what you're selling. And no, I don't mean you should be selling chatbots instead of voice agents. What I mean is there was one thing that made it extremely easy for me to close agency clients. And it was selling a better what than everyone else. And what I mean by that is selling one highly transformative outcome. And while that sounds really simple in theory, the real gap between me and you and a seven-figure AI agency is identifying a transformative outcome and presenting it to the right clients in a way that no one else in your industry does already. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But let's start with the roadmap. So there's really 5 things you need to do to take an AI agency from $0 to $30,000 per month. And the first one is create an AI supercharged offer. And this is really the most important. You need to sell a transformative outcome that differentiates you from all of your competitors, so your prospects need to work with you in order to get the results that they want. From there, you have to master outbound messaging. This is sending messages out to your niche that book 20 to 30 calls per week on full autopilot. And you need the outbound systems in order to do that. You need to know where to find these high intent leads and how to send these messages based off your niche and based off your offer. After you get calls on the calendar, you need to actually be able to close those. And you need to be able to close those more importantly at 40% plus rates and turning those calls into 5K plus paying clients. And then after you have clients and your offer is dialed in, you need assembly line fulfillment. You need to build an 80% automated onboarding and fulfillment process that literally guarantees that your clients get results. So if we have to boil down the road to 30K per month in just 3 steps, it's outbound, you validate your offer with that outbound, and then you scale that validated offer with ads. So the first mindset reframe that most people need to have before creating their offer is outcome first thinking. A lot of even experienced agency owners still get offers completely wrong because they're looking for the thing. So the wrong way to do this, which a lot of people do, is they pick the product, service, and niche. They say real estate agents and ads. From there, they figure out what outcome that can actually produce, and that creates a weak offer, and a weak offer creates unpredictable client acquisition. But the right way to do this is to start with the most transformative outcome that your niche actually wants. One of the ways to do that is through deep competitive analysis, which we're going to cover a little later on in the video. Then reverse engineer the product or service that delivers that. That creates a strong offer. And when you have a strong offer, you have a predictable agency that lasts because you're always getting new clients. And look, the game has never really changed. It really comes down to being able to offer the most transformative outcome, promising that outcome in the shortest time frame, and then being able to have proof that you're able to offer that outcome in a short time frame. If you can do those 3 things, you literally get all of the clients. I mean, speaking from personal experience with my agency, not to brag or talk about how great I was, but we literally closed more clients than all of the other real estate agency owners I knew nearly put together. And the reason wasn't because we were just so good or I was just so smart. It's because we did these 3 things. We offered the most transformative outcome, we delivered it in the shortest time frame possible, and we have tons of proof that we were able to do that. And that allowed us to get not all of the clients, but a lot more clients than everyone else did. And look, the most transformative outcome will always be based in two things, especially when you're selling to business owners. Promising them more money. Your service needs to be able to make them money, and it needs to make them money while allowing them to spend less time in their business. Every business owner wants to work on the business rather than in the business. Every business owner wants to make more money and work less hours. So a transformative outcome is going to be able to allow them to do that, and that is something that they're willing to pay for. So let's talk about this, what I call the value triangle. And it really comes down to a very simple idea. The hardest offers to sell are the farthest from revenue, and the easiest offers to sell are the closest to revenue. And what I mean by that is if you say, hey, we'll manage your socials, that's a hard offer to sell because it feels extremely far from revenue. A lot of agency owners today are saying we'll build you automations, and still kind of a hard offer to sell because it feels far away from revenue. We book you 20 appointments is better because it's closer to revenue, but the best version would be we'll get you 10 new deals by February on autopilot, because the easiest offers to sell are the ones that are the closest to the revenue and the ones that can give clients that revenue while allowing them to spend less time in their business. So the real problem here is that likely you're the technical builder. You're the person that spent the last 3 months learning all of the new AI tools. You're building the most advanced automations, and you can explain every technical feature. And the results of this are not very many responses to outreach because you don't really have the time to do outreach, and you've overcomplicated what you do so much that it's hard for clients to actually understand it. But the guy who signed your client is who I call the offer engineer. He spent 3 weeks crafting his offer, sometimes even less. His approach is using basic templates to actually fulfill the results, and his knowledge, he can't even build what you build. But the result is him closing 5 clients a month because he's selling transformative outcomes as opposed to features. And look, I'm a lot like the guy on the right, not because I'm some Chad cool guy, but because at the end of the day, I actually never launched a Facebook ad for my clients. The main thing that we did was launch ads for clients. And if you gave me the Facebook Business Manager right now, I could put together an ad, but I'm by no means an advertising expert because all I wanted to do was figure out how to convey what my agency did in the most attractive way possible and be able to promise the clients the benefits that they actually want when they work with an agency. And when I did that, I closed so many clients that I never even had to learn how to actually run the Facebook ads because I had enough free cash flow to hire amazing media buyers who were much better than I ever could have been because I was focused on selling transformative outcomes. And if you're watching this video and you only take away one thing from it, the thing that I urge you to do is stop being the technical builder and start being the offer engineer. The offer engineers are who are going to continue to get the lion's share of the clients in 2026. And again, it's because he promises the transformative outcome. You're selling features. The prospects should never have to think, how is this going to make me money? Because when you sell a transformative outcome, that question literally answers itself. And one thing that I want you to shift your mindset with is the fact that the thing you're selling doesn't actually matter. Think about it like this. When you go to the doctor and you're having some sort of illness, you tell the doctor what problems you're having, he prescribes you a medicine, you go to the pharmacy and you pick up that medicine. You're not buying the specific pills or the brand of medicine. You probably don't even really care what they are. What you're buying is being cured, the result, and the outcome. When you're sitting there in the doctor's office and you're sick, you don't care about the method that the doctor uses to solve your problem. You just care about the outcome of having your problem solved. It's just like the doctor's office. You are the doctor. You are the one promising the outcome. Your clients are the patient. They don't care about the method. They just care about the outcome. You need to sell a transformative outcome. Again, at the doctor's office, he says, if you take these pills, you're going to feel better. And in that moment in time when you're sick, you could literally care less, a lot of times, what the pills actually are. You just want the transformative outcome of feeling better. So let's talk for a minute about what AI actually changed. Before AI, let's say you promised 30 pieces of content to your clients. I'm not saying that's a good offer, that's just the example. You would have to hire a team of editors, writers, and designers. Let's say you promised 20 booked appointments, which was similar to the offer that I had. You would have to hire dialers, you have to train them, you have to manage the call center. This takes like 10 to 20 hours per client per month, either from you or a member of your team. But now with AI, you can promise that same thing, as an example, 30 pieces of content, and it takes you plus AI, and you can do it in a couple of hours. And if you're promising 20 booked appointments, it's AI plus one operator, and you can do these things in 2 to 3 hours per month per client. So the outcomes that you're selling really haven't changed. The 2026 outcomes are no different than they were in 2022 or 2023. The difference now is the vehicle in which you deliver them. And the new vehicle with AI now allows you to offer the same outcomes, or not even better outcomes, with less work required from you and higher profit margins. So you can now promise the same outcomes that you were able to, or maybe even better outcomes, but with less work, and because of that, higher profit margins. And look, what I really want to drill into your brain is that the money isn't in becoming an AI expert. Being a go high level wizard or being able to build AI agents is now a commodity. There's a million videos on YouTube of how to learn to do these things, and anyone can literally learn how to do them in 20 minutes. I would even be willing to bet, as you're watching this video now, there's probably a how to use AI video being recommended to you. Everyone can access these videos. Everyone can watch them. And the money is not in becoming an AI expert. The problem was never your AI skills. You can pay an overseas person on Fiverr to build chatbots. You can learn how to set up automations in a weekend. You can learn the tech on YouTube for free. The problem is that you don't know how to position your agency's transformative outcome. You don't know how to get on a sales call and sell it. And a lot of times you're competing on features instead of results. The profit isn't in becoming an AI expert. The money is in positioning the most transformative outcome that AI now enables and being able to close that offer on a call. And again, going back to this example of the technical expert and the offer engineer, the technical expert is trying to master all of the AI tools. Maybe their capabilities are that they can build anything, but they've invested 6 months into learning tech. And if we're being honest, at the rate that AI is moving right now, the tech is being really killed within 6 months. You might learn some tech, or maybe you learned some tech 6 months ago that's honestly obsolete today because of how quickly AI is moving. And this person is still learning and only making $3K a month. But agency owner B, the offer engineer, the Chad, has basic AI knowledge. The capabilities are they're using proven SOPs. They've invested 6 weeks on offer and sales, and they're at $45,000 per month. And what's crazy about this is something that I want you to think about. The Chad over here, the offer engineer, actually has enough money to go and hire the technical expert, pay the technical expert double or even triple what they're currently making with their agency, and allow the technical expert to become their operator. Are you now starting to see what results and what benefits you get when you can become the person that can sell a transformative outcome and be able to get clients? Getting clients and scaling is the king skill. The king skill has never been mastering AI tools, because the offer engineer is literally going to get big enough that he can swallow the AI agency expert, this expert person, he can swallow their agency whole. He can say, look, man, I'm going to pay you double or triple what you're making with your AI agency now. You come work for me and you run my whole operation. Kind of crazy when you think about it through that lens. But here's the craziest part. This actually works in a flywheel where when you improve your offer, this allows you to make more money. When you make more money, kind of like I alluded to earlier, you can hire better talent. As you hire better talent, your fulfillment improves. And as your fulfillment improves, you can make bigger promises. But this works in a flywheel because as you make bigger promises, you can now improve your offer again, which by effect is going to make you more money. The more money you make, the more talent you can hire. The more talent you can hire, the more your fulfillment improves. And then again, you get to make bigger promises and improve your offer over and over and over again. But if you're scaling slowly, you literally have no ability to be able to do this. The AI fulfillment is already figured out. The SOPs already exist and the systems are already built. The only question is, can you craft and sell a winning transformative outcome? So let's get into how to actually create an AI supercharged offer, and let's cut the fluff. The psychology behind your offer is that people buy with emotion and then they justify with logic. People with pain are motivated to invest in products or services that resolve their pain. A business owner without pain is a lot harder to sell to than a business owner with pain. And the first way you're going to create that AI supercharged offer is through competitive analysis. Competitive analysis is looking at the competitors in your niche who are selling a similar offer to you, who ideally are doing much better than you and have a big agency already. And you need to look at these competitors and you need to understand, what are they doing? Like, what are the big players in your niche doing? How do they position their offer? What method or unique method are they pushing? What has demand right now? What unique mechanisms are they using? How are they selling the same thing but making it sound different? Because, spoiler alert, that's literally what everyone is doing, selling the same thing and making it sound a little different. What transformative outcomes are they promising? What guarantees are they offering? And where are the gaps in what they're offering? And how can you make them better? You can only craft the most transformative outcome in your market if you know your niche and market better than everyone else. So if you're watching this video and you are a current AI agency owner and you don't know your top 3 titans in your industry, you don't know the top 3 agencies that serve the clients that you work with, you're already massively behind, because that means if you don't know the competitors, then you haven't done this competitive analysis. And competitive analysis is the most important thing to start with when it comes to creating that transformative offer. And step 2 from there is identifying the pain. You need to focus on one pain that they're experiencing the most and target it directly. This problem should be big enough that they're willing to pay to solve it ASAP, they being your clients. You need to use your competitive analysis to understand what pain points are most urgent. As an example, a real estate agent struggling with lead generation would gladly pay to fix this problem. And step 3 is to create one clear solution. Look, people buy clarity. You need to avoid offering too many things. You need to stick to one outcome, meaning your service should have one core deliverable. You need to make it very specific, like generate 30 qualified leads in 30 days. This is your transformative outcome. The bad version of this is, we'll run Facebook ads to bring in leads. The good version of this is, we'll flood your inbox with 10 qualified leads a day who are ready to buy. Because features don't sell, the transformative outcome does. Your service isn't what they want. The result ultimately is what they want. Step 4 is to add high perceived value. You need to showcase what life will look like after they've achieved the transformative outcome that your agency promises. Because again, people buy the destination, they don't buy the journey. You need to focus on how your solution saves time, increases revenue, or removes stress, or even better, does all 3. You need to think about how these 2 sentences make you feel. We'll automate your emails. That's a feature. The benefit translation would be, hey, you're never going to miss a lead who's ready to buy. It's obvious which one is going to stir emotion in your clients and make them more excited to work with you. And step 5 is your positioning. You need premium pricing that positions yourself as the best, but you can only do this after you've positioned yourself as the best with that transformative outcome, because people believe at the end of the day that the best costs more. You need niche expertise. Your transformative outcome should be laser focused on your niche. An example is you do lead generation exclusively for real estate agents or agencies. It needs urgency and scarcity. You need to create a reason to act now. As an example, you only take on a limited number of clients, or you offer exclusive bonuses for people who sign on right away, or we're only taking 1 client per service area. That's an example of a few of those that create urgency and scarcity right on the call and position you as an expert at the same time. And step 6 is an extremely strong risk reversal or guarantee. You need to remove the hesitation to buy by taking on the risk yourself. As an example, if we don't deliver X amount of leads in Y days, you don't pay. This shows you have confidence in your transformative outcome and you actually believe that you can deliver it. There's an example of marketing guarantees versus sales guarantees. A lot of people get these confused. Your marketing guarantee is big and bold for attention, like double your business in 90 days. But your sales guarantee is what you would specifically use on calls. It's specific, it's realistic, it's measurable. As an example, 30 guaranteed appointments in 90 days. You need to be able to use both of these in the correct ways and not use your marketing guarantee on your sales calls and not use your sales guarantee in your marketing, as an example. Step 7 is to create your unique mechanism. You need to rename the common deliverables to make them feel exclusive. A lot of people say Facebook ads. What I did at my agency was say the local authority campaign. A lot of people might say lead generation. What we did was call it the agent automation system. This is how you deliver the transformative outcome. Your specific method that sounds different from your competitors. It needs to be something that the client has never heard before. Because what ends up happening is your clients or the people that you're talking to might actually have a past negative experience with one of the words that you say, and you don't even know it in the moment. but it can actually lose you the sale. So if you say, hey, we're going to run Facebook ads for you, and they've run Facebook ads in the past and they didn't work out, they immediately paint you with the bad Facebook ads brush and don't want to work with you. Whereas when you say the local authority campaign, that's new and it's unique to you. It's a new experience that it creates in the prospect's brain. And this is why unique mechanisms are extremely important. And this is where you need to use your competitive analysis. What methods and mechanisms are others using? What are your competitors using? Position yours differently, even if the underlying mechanics are similar. Now, let's go ahead and put this all together. Starting with competitive analysis, you've studied all major real estate marketing agencies. You found the gap. Most promise leads, but not close deals, and there's a high distrust of marketing. The pain is most realtors, as an example, are struggling to generate qualified leads consistently. They've been burnt by agencies in the past that promise leads and don't close. The transformative outcome is you help them close 8 to 10 new deals in 16 weeks through your unique system. The value of this is they save 10 plus hours a week and focus on growing their business while we handle the lead generation and the follow-up. The positioning is we specialize in lead generation for real estate agents and only work with 5 clients per month in order to ensure the best possible experience. The guarantee is 30 appointments in that 90-day period or in that 16-week period, or the client doesn't pay. Your unique mechanism is the agent automation system. It's positioned differently because realtors were burnt in the past by ads. The high-level promise is we help realtors close 8 to 10 new deals every 16 weeks without cold calling using our agent automation system. This is an example of what a full offer would look like that is selling the transformative outcomes and is promising the client what they're looking for. New deals, less time spent doing them. This doesn't even say a word about AI because at the end of the day, the clients don't care about AI. That's the one thing that you need to understand when you watch this video and when you create your offer. The clients don't care about AI. They care about the outcomes. If AI helps them get those outcomes quicker, then it's great, but it's not the main thing that they want. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I wish I had AI in my business. No, they wake up in the morning and say, I wish I had more clients. I wish I could work less. I wish I got to spend more time with my family. I wish I wasn't a slave to my computer. That's the things that they say, not, oh, I wish I had AI in my business. That's what this offer does. So this is a quick offer test, and this is, of course, completely hypothetical and a little bit ridiculous just for the case of the video. But imagine somebody offered you this. Give me $10,000 and I'll give you $100,000 back, and I will guarantee it. How hard would that be to close, right? It would be extremely easy. You wouldn't even need sales skills. And that's the mindset that I want you to think through. If your offer is good enough, it takes the stress off of you being good on calls. And the better your offer is, the easier it is to book appointments, the easier it is to close deals, the easier it is to actually keep clients because they like the results that they're getting. And look, maybe you're watching this video and you don't have case studies yet. What I always did in the past was have a beta offer where new clients, let's say up to 5 or 10, would get 50% off if they signed up before a specific date. This allows you to validate your transformative outcome with real clients. It allows you to build case studies that you can use later, and it gets you reps and proof. So if you're brand new and you don't have case studies and proof yet, I would recommend going with the beta offer. We also have a full offer framework that we give to all of the clients inside of AC. We call it the winning offer formula, and there's a worksheet and a prompt to build your transformative outcome. If you want that, you can just DM me offer on Instagram at John Danes, and I'll send that over for completely free. And just to shed a little light into this, one of the agency clients graduating class of 2024, Yaya, started with me when he was at 5K a month. He's now at over 50K a month. And the main shift that we made was to his offer and his transformative outcome. The problem for him, he was selling a school retention offer. He's a really smart guy. He was helping businesses that were using school keep their recurring customers. But the issue was that his prospects didn't really understand the value. They only cared about getting new clients. They didn't care about the ones they were losing. He wasn't offering the transformative outcome that the clients actually wanted. The solution was to optimize his offer around helping coaches, his niche, get more clients rather than keep the clients that they already had. The result in this one switch, like I said at the beginning of the video, just finding that transformative outcome that your prospects so desperately want. That one switch literally 10x'd his business and 50x'd his profit. Now, step 2, after we've crafted that amazing transformative offer, is outbound messaging. And the goal of outbound messaging is to open conversations, to build rapport, and then naturally pitch your transformative outcome. I want you to realize that you're not trying to close deals in the DMs. You're just trying to get them to say yes to a phone call. So before we look into the type of messaging that actually works, I want to break down a few messages that I've received personally and look at why they don't work. So we have one here. Hey, are you looking for video editors? Hey, John, love the content at so-and-so agency. We're creating something your audience will love. Would be great to chat about a cool paid partnership. Sorry if you're watching this video, I'm laughing at your messages. Hey, quick question. Do you have a minute? I would love to tell you a little about my company and how I can help you with your IG profile. Look, these messages, candidly, all suck. And they fail for the same reason. They're too direct about wanting to work with me while offering zero value and showing no awareness of whether I even need what they're selling. There's no context, there's no diagnosis, it's just a generic pitch, and there's not even a transformative outcome that they're promising because they don't identify a problem, they don't demonstrate that they understand my situation, they don't explain how they help in a concrete way. That creates the worst possible mix. Aggressive intent without clarity. Because good outreach isn't about just asking for attention or partnership up front. It's about providing relevance first. And until you do that, even the best services sound like noise. So these people didn't really open the conversation. They didn't build any rapport. They didn't even try to find a need. They were trying to get me to say yes to signing up before they even knew if I needed what they did yet. And that is a major problem. So I have what I call the 4-message framework. And this framework has booked me and my clients thousands of messages through Outbound. Step 1 is to open the conversation, starting with a really open-ended conversation that doesn't feel salesy. If you're working with real estate agents, it'd be something like, hey, John, are you still doing real estate full-time? This is an easy message for them to respond to. They can respond with either a yes or a no, and it's not super direct in the fact that you want to work with them. After they say yes, you ask another follow-up question that's easy to answer. What we're trying to do psychologically with these messages is ask questions that make them feel almost rude for ignoring you. So as an example, if we're doing real estate agents, are you working with more buyers or sellers right now? It's an easy question that they can pretty easily respond to. And then 3 is pitching the transformative outcome. Well, got it. Just reaching out because I'm working with realtors right now to help them 2 to 4x their business without cold calling or shared leads. You open for a call this week? Super low commitment, quick call, and promising that transformative outcome. They would say, yes, shoot me over your email and your number, and I'll send over a calendar invite. So the reason this works is because whoever can offer and prove the most transformative outcome in their niche wins. But we're not starting with that transformative outcome because we haven't really had permission to proceed yet. So we're going to open a conversation and build rapport. We're going to demonstrate that we know their world and we're going to build some trust. Then we're going to present our transformative outcome very clearly, but also not in too many words. We can include proof and case studies as well, if that makes sense. And then we're going to schedule a quick call. We're working in steps. You're never going to send one message and sign somebody up. There are no shortcuts when it comes to getting clients. There are things that make it easier, like having a really good offer or understanding your niche better, but you're not going to jump from just speaking to this person for the first time and then expecting them to say, yeah, cool, send me over a payment link. That's why this 4-step framework works incredibly well because we're getting to know them. We're building some rapport. We're, again, demonstrating that we know their world. And then we're presenting our transformative outcome and just inviting them for a short call. Very low barrier to commitment, very easy for them to say yes to. This is something that makes the Outbound system work a lot more effectively. And it's what I call the stoplight system. Think about this in red, yellow, and green. So if they say, I'm not interested, I don't want to do a call, then you move on. Yellow is if they don't respond. So this is where deals go to die. Your job really is to turn yellows into greens or reds. So a lot of people think the goal is to book as many calls as possible. The goal is to either get a yes or a no. The problem lies in the maybes or the unresponded messages. So if you send that first message and they don't respond, that's not completely indicative that they're not interested because they haven't told you that they're not interested. They've just missed your message. You have to think, people have tons of things going on. They have family, they have their job, they have other people reaching out to them on social media. If they miss your message or they don't respond, I don't assume they didn't respond because they're not interested. I assume they didn't respond because they didn't see the message yet. So that's where follow-up is extremely important, which we'll get into in a second. But the yellows are where deals go to die. Your goal really is to turn yellows into green or reds. And if they're green, that's pretty straightforward. That means they book a call and then you move them into your pre-call process. Now, here's the rules of follow-up. Follow-up with outbound messaging is the most important thing. You need to do it every 24 to 48 hours when someone is in that yellow category, meaning they haven't responded. You can use really simple, no pressure messages. Hey, John, just bumping this up in case it got buried. Hey, let me know when you see this. John, let me know. Memes also work. You can go to that website there and you can actually make these fun memes that you can send as follow-ups. You need to forget the fear of bothering people because your job is to follow up until they've said yes or no. Again, that yellow zone is the dead zone. When they haven't responded, that's not indicative that they're not interested. It just likely means they haven't seen the message yet. So your goal is to have as few yellows as possible and have a lot of greens. And of course, with that comes a lot of reds. What becomes super important is tracking your data. This is actually one of the many SOPs that we give to clients inside of AC. I'm sorry I can't give this one away, but this is an example of some of the tracking and detailed tracking that you need to be doing when you're doing outbound messaging, because you're going to be able to track different scripts, see which scripts and platforms are working the best, and you really need one dashboard where you see all this. Again, I'm sorry to gatekeep this. This is a very valuable SOP that we give clients inside of AC, so I can't just give this one away. And don't worry, if we do end up working together, I'm actually going to build your outreach scripts 100% for you. This is a redacted screenshot of the outreach scripts. I made a joke with my copywriter that this sort of looks like the Epstein files. So maybe Kareem can post a screenshot here of what the Epstein files look like. So sorry to redact this whole thing and sorry for the crazy ad lib there, but we will build your scripts for you. We being me, I will personally build them for you. And you're going to be able to take those scripts to the social media platforms, to cold email, and book appointments. Let's talk about outbound systems. Step one is your profile setup. You need a clean professional headshot that says, I'm legit. You need to keep it simple in the bio, who you are, what transformative outcome you deliver, and who you help. And posting. I would post a few times in the first week just to warm up the account. You need to post consistently. It's going to build your audience and might even start to pull in inbound leads. This is an example of my LinkedIn account. I think my LinkedIn's like a 5 out of 10, to be honest with you, but it looks better than most. So I just have a screenshot here. I even think mine could be a little bit better. Step two is actually warming up your account. So a lot of people just get on LinkedIn or Facebook and start sending outreach and just kind of go balls to the wall. But you need to have kind of a slow, deliberate warm-up process so your account just doesn't get instantly banned. So you need to engage like a human. You need to like, comment, and share posts in your niche. It's going to build activity on your profile. You need to connect naturally with people in your niche. Start with casual comments or messages. You can wish people happy birthday. You can congratulate them on achievement. Just be normal as you warm up your account because you don't want to flag off the LinkedIn or Facebook algorithm that you're just trying to pitch literally everyone you come in contact with. And then just be ready for slow and steady wins. Send messages at different times of the day. Work your way up to 50 connection requests daily over the course of 7 to 14 days. Space them out. Do it slowly. The last thing you want to do is fire up your new LinkedIn account and then immediately get it banned where you can't send messages or connection requests anymore. Step three is actually figuring out where to send and find leads. So Instagram DMs are really good for coaches and creators, people that actually use Instagram as a platform to grow their business. Facebook DMs are really good for local business owners joining niche-specific Facebook groups and adding people from those groups. LinkedIn is really good for B2B, SaaS, professional services. It becomes very easy to search niches and filter by people and send those connection requests. Cold calling is good for local business owners, less likely to open emails during the week, but might answer calls. And cold email works with almost any niche at scale, especially if you do it the correct way. You need to scale, again, volume safely, especially if you're using social media. So if you have a friend or family member who aren't using their accounts, borrow their account, optimize it. More accounts equals more outreach equals more calls booked. So at the height of me doing outbound, I had about 20 accounts that we were running, both from our team and from just family members, friends, people's accounts that I would get access to so we could send heavy volume. Because at some level, after your outreach is dialed in, you will be capped by the amount of volume that you're able to do. When your messages are good and your outreach and your offer and all these things are validated, it really just becomes a game of being able to send more volume. And so you need to scale the volume safely, but if you have friends or family that have accounts, get those accounts, more outreach, more calls booked. AC clients also found, surprise, surprise, if you have an account that has an attractive woman, it works 200% more effectively, and even in some cases like 500% more effectively. And a lot of the big companies in this space are actually doing this right now. Companies like Fanbasis or WAP, most of their setters on Instagram are conventionally attractive women. And so people know women just tend to work better. More people want to speak to women. So if you have attractive women accounts, that's even better. And inside of AC, we actually can get you access to agency leads. This is our in-house data platform that we've built with nearly 1 billion records, 74 million company records, 834 million employee records. We have full intent data, so you can track what people are searching in real time. It also has de-anonymization. It's a big word, but you get to see basically who visits your website. If you are running a website or funnel, you can actually see who's going to your website and visiting your website, and then being able to either retarget them through Facebook ads or send them emails. And then we also have a ton of data points of consumer attributes. We have like 300 million plus data points. All that is fancy jargon for high quality and high intent leads on Agency Leads, our platform. And this is something that is exclusive right now to agency clients. So buyer intent data is really the secret weapon when it comes to cold email and actually targeting leads. You can find people who searched for specific topics in the last 24 hours. That means they're actively looking for a solution. It's way warmer than just your traditional cold outreach. You're reaching them at peak intent, and because they want the transformative outcome already, you really just need to offer it. And so that's what Agency Leads, our platform, actually allows you to do, which is pretty awesome. We built this in-house and spent a ton of money in order to do so. So after those first three things are dialed in, number 4 is sales and closing. And what you have to first understand with sales and closing is that outbound leads are much different than inbound leads. Look, inbound leads came to you from referral or from ads. They already know and trust you, and they know that you can get them that transformative outcome that they're specifically looking for. And just by the fact that they reached out to you, that means that they're already looking for that transformative outcome. And for those reasons, you could do a pretty simple one-call close. Whereas with outbound, you reached out to them. They might be interested, but they don't yet trust that you can get them the outcome that they want, or maybe they don't even know what the outcome that they want is. And so for these reasons, you need to do a 2-call close. The 2-call close framework for outbound looks something like this. Call 1 is a discovery call. It's going to be done just over the phone. Doesn't even have to be on Zoom. You're going to build rapport. You're going to learn about their business. You're going to understand their problems. You're going to widen the gap between where they are now and the transformative outcome that they want to achieve. From there, after you've successfully done that, you can book them in for call 2, which is the demo and pitch. This is where you're going to present your transformative outcome. You're going to show them how you can help them. You're going to handle objections if there are any, and then you're going to close the deal. So you have to understand that when you're doing outbound, it's extremely important that you do a 2-call close process, specifically like the one you see on the screen. If you try to 1-call close from outbound, I've seen many people try, it is not very successful because you have to build the need and you have to get them excited about the transformative outcome and actually find out whether they're looking for the transformative outcome, because if they're not, probably not going to close. 2-call close only for outbound. And when it comes to how to close, there's a full video on YouTube of me kind of walking through this 9-step sales framework. But this is what I used to close at 40% rates, and my team used to close at around 25% rates. And it's really 9 steps. It's intro and rapport. So getting to know them, being human, nobody buys from the asshole. Frame is setting the agenda. Something like, today I want to learn about your business, see if we can help, and if we can, I'll show you what that looks like. Then there's the discovery, which is really the money step. This is where you're going to learn what's working, what's not, what they've tried in the past, and really widen the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, aka the transformative outcome. Then you're going to transition, which is where you move from the discovery to the actual demo, or if it's a 2-call close, you book that second call. 5 is you pitch. You walk through your transformative outcome, you show them case studies, you talk a lot less than you think, and you really highlight the benefits of what you do as opposed to the features. 6 is the questions. You handle objections before the price. Does this feel like what you're looking for? If we're able to come in here and if we're able to come in your business and do this for you, do you feel like it's going to take you to where you're looking to go? That's the important question that you need to ask after they've actually seen the pitch. And as soon as they say yes, that's when you get into pricing. You drop the price. You have a fast action discount that creates urgency, maybe even some on-call bonuses if they sign up today. And then there's final questions, meaning you're going to handle the remaining objections. If you've done this process right, there shouldn't be any objections. You can watch through my calls and see what I mean. And then tie that back to the transformative outcome they said they wanted in the discovery. And then you go ahead and get them onboarded. Step 9. You get them to pay first. Invoice always comes before the contract. And then you walk them through the onboarding process. If you actually want to see this entire thing in action, you can DM me Sales Vault on Instagram, and I'll send you over 10 hours and 10 of my actual sales call recordings to see this whole thing in action and really see the system that I used to have objectionless closes pretty much every time. The main piece of feedback that I get from clients and from people that see these calls is, wow, I'm surprised there's not a lot of objections. I'm not even what I think to be a good objection handler, but I'm very good at objection prevention, which is actually a lot more important. So if you want those calls, DM me Sales Vault on Instagram. And last but not least, the funny thing about this is what most people actually start with, and this is kind of where we finish, and in my experience, where you always should finish, is assembly line fulfillment. So again, comes back to this diagram. You improve your offer, you make more money. That allows you to hire more talent and better talent. This allows your fulfillment to improve. And once your fulfillment improves, you can make bigger promises, and then you can repeat the process over and over and over again. It's exactly like poker. This is the GOAT, Phil Ivey. If you don't know, now you do. In poker, the only way to make more money is to play higher stakes. And to play higher stakes, you need a bigger bankroll. If you don't have a big bankroll, you have no seat at the table. And really, the way that players increase their bankroll is a few ways. They grind their bankroll up very slowly, playing low stakes. Maybe they get income from another source like a job or some sort of business. Or they just have a backer that stakes them. The parallel in agencies is that an agency's cash flow is your bankroll. Your revenue really determines how fast you can scale, what risks you can take, how aggressively you can improve. And low cash flow agencies don't die because they're bad. They die because they can't compound fast enough. So the counterintuitive truth here is that more clients actually equals better delivery of the transformative outcome. And it's kind of a crazy statement. You might ask, why? Well, if you have more cash flow, again, you can hire better talent. More reps equals more processes over time. More data equals better results. And faster iteration means faster improvement. It's actually a disservice to your clients to not sign a lot of clients, because slow growth equals slow learning, and slow learning equals worse outcomes. So the faster you can sign clients, the shorter the fulfillment learning curve, the faster outcomes improve, the sooner your guarantees become possible and better, and the quicker everything compounds. So the 3 pillars of signing clients. I need you to right now, if you're a current AI agency owner, to rate these 3 things out of 10. You're going to then add them up and you're going to get your number. So you need to rate your transformative outcome on a scale of 1 to 10. From there, you need to rate your messaging and the way you present your offer on a scale of 1 to 10. And then your sales on a scale of 1 to 10. So if each one is a 5, you're a 15 out of 30. That's a 50%. It's not a very good grade. But the better your transformative outcome, the easier your messaging becomes. Then you book more calls. And as you book more calls, you get better at sales. And what you need to understand is that everything compounds if you start at the offer. But every day with a bad offer equals potential clients who would have been closing, walking away, and working with someone else. Ultimately, as you sit here and watch this video, you are losing clients. And you're losing those clients to someone with a better offer and a better way of actually describing and helping the prospect understand their transformative outcome. And that should piss you off, because it pisses me off for you. So now what? You've watched the video. So here's where you're at. You understand that fulfillment is no longer the bottleneck. Client acquisition is. You understand that the only thing that matters now is mastering how to craft and sell a transformative outcome. Well, what now? You have 3 options. Option 1 is to keep learning all the new AI tools. Maybe you don't believe anything that I said in this video, and you're going to keep learning AI tools. You're going to miss the 6 to 12 month AI window. You're not going to craft a transformative outcome. You're not going to test your offer in the market, and you're going to wait until you feel ready. 6 months from now, you'll have no clients, no money. You won't have a real agency. You'll basically just be in the exact same place that you are now. And that's not like a sales tactic or something that I'm just saying. If you don't do anything and you continue to do what you're doing now, then you're going to be in the exact same spot in 6 months. Another 6 months in the exact same place. Option 2 is going at it alone and figuring out yourself. You might catch the window if you're fast enough. Maybe you focus on client acquisition now, you build your transformative outcome, you do everything that I told you to do in this video, you create messaging and outbound systems, you buy leads from Apollo, you test for months. 6 months from now, maybe you've signed 2 to 5 clients. It's possible, but it's slow. It's going to take you 12 plus months to actually achieve real scale. Now, the best of the options is to let me do it for you. This is the fast track. This is where you're actually going to capitalize on the AI window. I'm going to help you craft your transformative outcome so it works the first time, not 6 months of trial and error. I'm going to help you do deep competitive analysis so you can know your market better than literally anyone. I'm going to personally write your outbound scripts with you, completely custom for your niche. I'm going to help you build your outbound systems, show you where to send, and how to automate all of the messaging. I'm going to review your sales calls and tell you exactly what to fix so you can close more deals. I'm going to help you install assembly line fulfillment so you can actually deliver what you promise. I'm going to give you premium access to Agency Clients Community and all the resources and SOPs that come with that. And I'm going to give you premium access to the Agency Lead software and leads that want to buy now, not cold prospects who have never heard from you. And most importantly, I'm going to hold your hand throughout the entire process. In 60 to 90 days from now, you can literally be at $30K a month guaranteed. In 60 to 90 days from now, you can be at $30,000 a month. And I would even be confident enough to say, if you follow the steps that I've given you, guaranteed. This is going to allow you to dominate your niche before your competition ever wakes up. Because your competition are going to be either following the option 1 path or the option 2 path, where you and I are going to be scaling together. Just like all of the success stories and all of the clients that I've worked with over the past couple of years who have been able to crush it. People like Yaya and tons of others. Because again, it's about finding that transformative outcome and doing the things that I showed you in today's video, those 5 steps, and being able to do them in the most efficient way possible. So if you want me to hold your hand through this entire process and literally license the exact system that I use to scale, so you can scale in 2026 and be able to scale to $30,000 to $100,000 per month at extremely high profit margins, all you have to do is go to agencyclients.com or even click below this video. There'll be a link there. You just click on that Apply Now button. It's going to take you to a short application. It takes about 3 minutes in total to fill out. It's going to give me some more information about you, so that way I'm prepped for the call. And then you'll be able to book an intro call with me. At the time of filming this video, I am taking all of the intro calls. I like to personally speak to every single person that joins AC, because we're going to be working together extremely intensely over the course of 6 months, and we just need to make sure that there's a fit, both on culture and on personality. So at the time of filming this video, I'm personally taking all these calls. We'll talk about how I can help you, what the whole process will look like, and if it actually doesn't make sense to work together, I'll still give you the entire roadmap that I would follow. You just obviously wouldn't have me helping you implement the entire thing. Would love to see you over on agencyclients.com and would love to see you on a call. Again, the one thing that I want you to take away from this video is it's not about the tools. It's about mastering client acquisition. And after you've mastered client acquisition, you don't have to master the tools because you have enough cash flow and enough resources to bring someone in to do all this stuff for you. And at the end of the day, that really is the point of running a business, isn't it? To not have to work 24/7, to not have to be a slave to your clients, but to be able to build something that brings you massive amounts of personal cash flow without you having to spend all of your time managing and maintaining it. And that's something that I've done, and that's something that I'm going to help you do if and when we work together. So I'll see you over on agencyclients.com. Look forward to seeing you on a call. I love you lots, and I'll see you in the next video.